What up, YouTube?
For the old man.
Welcome back to the Old Man Games channel. I am your host, the Old Man Games. This is another tutorial for College Hoops 2K8. In this tutorial, we are going to go over custom plays, playbooks, and in addition to that, mixed in a bit is going to get into a bit of player development, roster management, all that good stuff. All right, so I'm going to break this thing down into 3 different sections. The way I've done the other ones have been broken down into sections, so I like to stay organized and on track like that. So the three sections for this tutorial are going to be 1, custom playbooks. So we're basically just going to go over all the plays at the disposal. I'll get into a bit of how I select plays that I roll with in my playbook based on my players and all that good stuff. 2 is going to be player tendencies. Now, this is something that quite possibly could have been included in the player development tutorial, but I decided to include it here because it kind of goes hand in hand with the playbooks that you run and your overall strategy, which can change from year to year based on your team. So that's also where we get into roster management. All right, and then number 3, as a special bonus, I'm gonna throw in custom plays. And the reason why I call this a special bonus is because honestly, I myself do not use custom plays when I play, because as you all know, this is a CPU versus CPU world that I live in. And with that, you basically, I mean, if you can, I don't know of a way, but I don't believe you can use custom plays when you play CPU versus CPU, because the whole thing is when you select your team, I think that's where you go to select the custom plays that you built. But in the original tutorial we did for this, which was the recruiting tutorial, one of the commenters commented down below and asked if I could show how to create plays. So I figured I would add it on to this tutorial as a bit of a bonus section, if you will. All right, so this one is, I anticipate this being a much shorter tutorial than the previous 2, but it'll still be jam-packed with plenty of jewels that you can use in both your CPU versus CPU dynasties, as well as the other ones that you play. All right, so let's go on and get into it then. Now, what we're going to use as a tutorial, as an example throughout this tutorial, is going to be the South Dakota dynasty that I have going on the side. This isn't like a main thing. I don't display it on the YouTube channel other than in these tutorials. I've simulated through several seasons. I haven't really touched it much since I started making tutorials with this and the other dynasty we got, but yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and use this, like I said, as the example throughout this tutorial here. So let's hop into it. Now, like I said, this first section is going to be custom playbooks, right? And with that, as you all know, if you follow the channel, here's a good plug. Follow the Coach Corey Felton coaching legacy I got going. Currently, he is at Texas Southern Tigers. In that dynasty, what I do almost damn near before every game is I'll go over the plays in my playbook, right? And basically, there are a number of plays that I've honed in on. I would say there's maybe like, let me see, hold on. Let me look at my notes right here. I can count for you if I can find my notes. I would say there are about a good, out of all the plays that this game has included, and there are quite a few, I haven't counted, but you see right here all the sets that they have. Of all the plays that they have, I've honed in on, let's say, 40 total plays, just overall total, that I kind of alternate from depending on the makeup of my team. Now, in the playbooks, as you can see, there's only 8 slots that you have for your plays. And with the custom playbook, you're basically using the plays that come with the game, so the default plays that come with the game, and you just select the 8 that you want to roll with, right? So like I said, now I'm scrolling through the sets of all these plays, and these are them right here, right? As I scroll through, of all these plays, I've honed in on 40 of them that I just used. You know, I'm pretty sure there's other ones that could be used as well that I could probably incorporate, but for the most part, the 40 plays that I use are what I use. And what I'll probably do is share them in the description, and you know, as time goes on, I'm pretty sure I'll add more plays to this. So I am slightly hesitant to add them because I don't want you guys to think these are like the holy grail of plays, or like there's something so special about these plays. These are just the plays that I've identified that I like to use within my CPU versus CPU legacies. And like I said, I also, obviously I can't have 40 plays all at once, so I pick and choose. And if you follow the Dynasty, you know there's a few main ones that I just basically always stay on. Not always, again, everything depends on the roster makeup and things of that nature, right? So real quick, I'm gonna come back to this, but let me just show for this Dynasty, not even the roster yet, let me show. And this is normally the case everywhere with every Dynasty I make, but I just want to show real quick the coach profiles. Like I've said in the other tutorials, you know, your play style always starts with your coach profile. And again, I use the same sort of template in everything, right? So it's the players I look for are athletic players who can shoot. I used the all plays playbook, and which we're going to flip back to, right? The man-to-man primary offense, the 3-2 secondary, the man-to-man pressure D, the full court press, the always press. In this particular Dynasty, my bench depth is up to 11. And then this is what I use for the in-game strategy. Our tempo is 65. Defensive pressure is 75. The defensive rebound versus fast break is 70, which actually this should probably be more like 65 or 60 even. I want to run more, but I also want to be competitive on the board, so I'll probably put that at 60, because I think the way it works is this end is the defensive rebound and that end is the fast break. Is that how it works? I don't know. I might just set this at 50 now that I think about it, because I'm not 100% sure. I'll do the same here with my transition defense versus crash the board. But I've always historically, I've believed that that's what that is. This end is for what's on this side, that end is for what's on that side, and you just put it where you want the majority, or you want it to be predominant. But we can go with neutral, which is 50-50, right? And we can see how this all plays out. All right, so this is the basic sort of strategy that I use. I like an up-tempo style. I'll probably push this up to 70 actually. And I'm gonna get into how this plays into the play selection for the top 8 plays. All right, and then the next thing that I want to show, because I'm showing this to show these are things that I consider or I take into consideration when selecting the top 8 plays. So first, like I said, is the coaching profile. I can't even talk over here. But then also I want to take I want to take a look at my roster. Damn, what's going on, y'all? All right, because this plays a major part, and I'm also going to come back to this, but I'm just coming here now just to see sort of where my dominant players are, the players that we want to focus on, because that'll determine the playbook as well, you know, like the plays that I'm going to hone in on. So in this particular dynasty, let's see, this guy right here, Zyges Hedges, what kind of name is that? He's an 81 overall. He got the 3-point ability. We don't have much ability on it. Oh, we got a couple guys who got speed, and then Zyges is a 3-point shooter. But yeah, so this is gonna be our star player. He gonna most likely have the most plays as a 2 guard. Okay. We got a point guard that's pretty good on the team. So, you know, our backcourt is going to be where it's at. Our front court, our power forward is Chip Danley, the senior. Our center is a junior, Kendrick Vignali, who's just a 71. It's still a decent squad, but as you can see, like, it's sort of guard and wing dominant. And then if you look at their abilities here, we got guys who look like they can finish at the rim, guys who can shoot a jumper, shoot the 3. Okay with free throws, not mind-bogglingly good. Dunking is Our handling is actually pretty decent. The guys who are lower rated are front court guys and walk-ons, so that's good. All right, so I think for like a team like this, I would build a playbook that, okay, like of the 8 plays, I would really probably only have, let's see, maybe just one for the center. Here, let me map this out, and I'm gonna build a playbook here for this tutorial for this team, and it'll be out of my 80, out of my 40 plays that I normally roll with. And I'll tell you guys why I use these plays as I build this out, but yeah, I'm just taking notes on the side. All right, so I'm gonna get ready to build out a 8-play playbook specifically for this team and this dynasty. Again, like I keep saying repeatedly, I have a list of 40 plays of all the default plays that come with the game that I normally choose from, and I'm gonna show you how I choose from them. So based on this team right here, right, I will include a play for the center. I think I'll include 2 plays for this power forward, right? So we got 5 plays left for everybody else. That's probably going to be 2 from our shooting guard, 2 from our small forward, and then 1 for the point guard. But hold on, actually I may not even do that. What I might do is Because remember, this shooting guard is really the best guy on our team. So I think I'm gonna do 3 for the shooting guard, 1 for the point guard, 1 for the small forward. I might even do, you know what, y'all? I might have to do 2 for the point guard. That's what we're gonna do. And that's what we're gonna do. All right, so I'm gonna have 1 play for the center, 1 play for the power forward, 1 play for the small forward, 3 plays for the shooting guard, 2 plays for the point guard. All right, so we're gonna flip back over to the playbook. We got coaching office, management. Yeah, hold on. What's going on, y'all? Oh, there it is. All right, playbooks. So I'm gonna go through, fill these out, and then I'll come back and speak to it. All right, boom. So I put it all together. I've picked 8 plays that are specifically for this team, right? Based on this team. Remember, I went through the team and I looked at, okay, I want 1 play for the center, 1 play for the power forward, 1 play for the small forward, 3 for the shooting guard, and 2 for the point guard. This is what I came up with. All right, so we got the center low block, which is out of the triangle 3 set. We got the power forward pick and post, that's out of the 1-4 high, that's for the power forward, obviously. We got the small forward backdoor cut out of the flex 1. And the reason why I went with that is because our small forwards are more like slashers, I think, than, you know, 3-point specialists, especially that starter. Okay, now here's our specialist, not specialist, but you know, the star, the 2 guard. We got 3 plays for him. This first one is the shooting guard ISO out of the UCLA high post. Then we got the shooting guard top arc out of the flex 4. And then the 3-point reversal out of the triangle 6. Now I put this under shooting guard, but this play, there's like a number of different players that can end up getting a 3-pointer out of this. Mainly the shooting guard, but I think the small forward as well as the point guard can get a look out of this play as well, which is, this is a play that I love and that usually is always in my playbook regardless of the team makeup, because the team makeup will have players that can fit the bill for this, unless it's a team that I just took over. If it's a team that I've been putting together through recruiting, there's going to be a place for this play in my playbook. All right, and then the 2 plays that I picked for the point guard. First one is the point guard wing ISO out of the flex 3, and then the next one is the point guard center high screen roll. So that'll give the center a chance to also, you know, get in on some plays depending on how those screen rolls work out. And that's out of the flex 3 if I didn't mention that. But now let me speak to one of the things I look at and part of the reason why I went with these plays. Now remember, in my system with my team, we do a full court press, right, on defense, and then on offense we're trying to be up tempo. So even with the plays that we select, there's not that many steps in these plays. See, if you notice, like down here, this thing that's going across, this is showing you how many steps are in the play. So this play that it's on, that's 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step. So the motion clear out play, that's how many steps is in it. If you look at the baseline curl play, 1, 2, it's just 2 steps in that play. The double cross play, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 steps in that play. You see, so that play takes a little bit longer to develop. But basically, since I'm up tempo, most of my plays really have very few steps. So like the center low block play, 2 steps. This power forward pick and post, that's 4 steps, and you'll see those are the most steps that any play in my playbook will have is 4 steps. So that's that power forward pick and post. Then the small forward backdoor cut, 2 steps. Shooting guard ISO, 2 steps. Shooting guard top arc, 2 steps. The 3-point reversal, 4 steps. That's another 4-step play. So we have 2 plays out of the 8 that are 4 steps. The point guard wing ISO, 1 step. The point guard center high screen roll, 1 step. So we got 2 plays that are 1 step, 2 plays that are 4 step, and 4 plays that are 2 steps. So the plays that we end up selecting have very few steps in them, which is how we're able to get through them rather quickly. All right, so that's just showing you how we go through to select plays. Now, to really make this all gel, the glue that makes this fit, and I've been guilty of not showing this throughout the dynasty that I'm building with Corey Felton. And to be honest, I just remembered in an episode that I recorded. Now, the timing of all this may not come out, like this tutorial may come out, or not may, it definitely will come out before, even though I'm recording it after, it'll be published before the episode in the basketball dynasty that I'm referring to. So I want to say it's in season 6 in this new episode that's about to drop. Season 6 episode 12, I believe it is. That's the one where I remembered, oh yeah, freaking player tendencies. What am I doing? So to really make your playbook and everything else gel the way you need it to, one thing you need to do is you come here to your roster, if I can find it, right? And what you want to do is for each of your players, you want to go through and edit their tendencies. So one of the editing options for all your players is tendency. So things that I edit, like, okay, for instance, yeah, I edit vitals, the generals, you know, all this stuff is editable, accessories, tendencies. And then, you know, like sometimes I'll edit their shot, how they look, but you don't necessarily get to edit their attributes, you know, so don't confuse editing tendencies with editing attributes. Think of editing tendencies as like your coach's instructions to the players, right? Telling the players, you know, for you, specific player number 15, you know, whatever this dude's name is, hey, I want you to take these types of close shots to where that translates to this number on the screen, right? So, oh, real quick. So let me show you the different buckets, and then I'm gonna go through and update everything for this roster, and I'll explain the strategy behind how I do this. So also too, guys, this is, if I didn't mention, my bad. This is section 2 of the tutorial, which is the tendency section. All right, so basically you have, I think it's 4 or 5 different slots. I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 different slots. You have close shot tendency, mid-range shot tendency, 3-point shot tendency, drive the lane tendency, and then the other one is commits files. Okay, so let me go through real quick. I'm gonna pause again. I'm gonna go through, update the tendencies for my players, and then I'm gonna come back and talk to it. I'm gonna talk through how I organize and do all of it. All right, so 1 second. All right, boom, I'm back. So I went through and set the player tendencies. I'm not going to show all of that here, but I will just talk through the strategy behind how I do this, right? So in all of those categories that I showed you, whoever I want to be like the top person in that category. Like for instance, the top guy for inside for close shooting is going to be my center, right? And so I'll set him in somewhere in the 90, or actually no, in this case it's the power forward, because the power forward has a better so I'll set him in the 90s. I set him at 95 for inside. And then so I put it like this: whoever I want to be my number one option, I put everything in increments of 5. Whoever I want to be my number one option out of the close, mid-range, or 3-point in terms of shooting, I put them in the 90s. My number 2 option I put in the 80s, but I'll have more than one. I can have more than one number 2, if that makes any sense, right? Because everyone isn't always on the court at the same time. My 3 is in the 70s, and then anything below that can go anywhere from like 60 to 20, even lower, depending on, you know, what's going on. And then sometimes I'll look at where they already are and just round to the nearest 5. So like if someone is at 31, I'll set it at 30, you know what I mean? And then for driving to the basket, what I look at to determine that is handling. So like for instance, Dean is the best ball handler, our point guard, right? So for him, I want to say I set his drive, where did I do it? I set his driving at 90. And then the guy who's behind him is our backup freshman point guard. I set him at 85. And then Hedges, the next guy, I set him at 80. And I just do it like that. Like I go by, you know, handling. And then I'll go all the way down to 70, which is generally in line with what their handling rating is. And even if it's below, like in the 60s, like I still put him at 70, stuff like that. And I think the big guys, all of them are like lower, way lower. I think the only one that's kind of high is Chip Danley, and that's because his default was already high, and I say high, it was at 70, so I just left it. We'll see how it plays out. And then for the foul tendency, commit foul tendency, that just basically determines how aggressive that player is gonna play, right? So generally my big men who are backups, who are on the bench, and especially like the walk-ons, their commit foul rating is like yanked all the way up to, I want to say like the 80s. I typically don't go beyond the 80s, but you never know. Sometimes it's a case-by-case basis. So there could be like a walk-on center or power forward that I set at 90 or something, you know. But for the most part, those would be the ones that are set higher. Even my starting, you know, the players who play, the starting front court players and the backup front court players who actually play and get minutes, they're still set relatively high, as in like in the 70s when it comes to foul, because they need to be aggressive and, you know, protect the paint. So they have to play kind of rough like that. And then my guards and players that are like the star players, I generally set them lower, like in the 60s. I try not to go below, let me look at my list right here. I try not to go below 55. And the reason for that is I don't want them to, we got to have some baseline level of aggression for defense, basically, is the point. All right. So those are those two sections. I know I didn't really show it, but you know, you get the gist of what I'm saying here, and how tendency is something to not, don't overlook that. That's a critical aspect to your gameplay, your style, your playing style, and all that good stuff. And I believe it affects every playing style. So whether you fast sim, which I may do for some of this episode, for this tutorial. So whether you fast sim, whether you slow sim, and that's, you know, whether you do like a coach mode or do a computer on computer like I do, I call that slow sim, or whether you play, you know, with the sticks, I think tendency is very important to make sure you set that. All right. So We are going to take another pause right here. Let me go back out to probably to the schedule. That for the most part. Actually, you know what? I think I probably will. I'm going to pause right here. I'm going to simulate through this season based on what I showed you guys that I set. And then I'll come back and we can dissect how things played out with the stats and stuff like that to see, you know, did it play out the way we anticipate, which if everything goes the way I'm thinking it will based on how I set everything up, our 2-guard Hedges should be our leading scorer. The point guard should be somewhere behind him as the number 2 option, and then number 3 should be our power forward, and then everyone else should be around there. So we'll see how that shakes out. All right, so I'm gonna go through, simulate this season, come back, show the results of our stats and all that kind of stuff to see how the tendencies and playbook work out. And then after that, to wrap up this episode, we'll go into how to create custom plays. All right, so be back in a flash. All right, guys, we are back. We have simulated through the season, had a pretty good season, you know, not as good as I would have liked, but can't complain. The team fell to 27-9 on the season. They finished their conference first place in the regular season, 15-3 record. Lost the conference championship game in the finals to South Utah, so we did not get into the NCAA tournament, but we did get into the NIT tournament. Won 2 games there, beat KU, then we beat Georgia State, and then lost to Wake Forest to end the season. When you take a look at the stats, kind of played out the way we tried to build the team. You know, we want to build it around this guy right here, Hedges, and he led the way with 15.8 points per game. My 2 big guys were behind him, both averaged 10 points a game. And then the point guard with 9.2. We had a bench guy, Cristiano Woods, who's a sophomore 2-guard. Yeah, man, so that's how we ended up. Let's see, our point guard had 5.9 assists per game. We weren't that good with rebounds. We did not have any player with over 5 rebounds a game. 2 players with over 1.5 steals, Hedges and Dean. The starting backcourt. Danley with 1.8 blocks per game. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to show, just how, you know, I want to back up how we set play style for the team, we set a playbook for the team, we set the tendencies for the players, and then we played it all out. You know what I'm saying? So that's really how you build the dynasty. You got to take these 3 tutorials that I've just made, put them all together, and you got yourself a winning dynasty. All right, so I'm gonna come back in a few minutes for me. It'll be literally like milliseconds for you as you watch this, but and as quick of a transition of the screen, we will be back with the quick tutorial on how to do custom plays. All right, 1 second. All right, guys, we're back, and I am about to show you how to create a play. So what you want to do is navigate to this main menu here, and then find this creation zone, select that. From there, you want to select play designer. This doesn't really matter. I mean, if you want to select the team, I just keep it on a default, which I think I previously set my favorite team as USC, so that's why it sets it here. But all this to say that this part doesn't necessarily matter, because to my knowledge, there's no way for you to, you know, pull in the team that you have a dynasty with. I think if they would have continued to make more versions of this game, this is something that would have evolved and could have been something extremely special. But it is what it is, and this is what we got. So what you want to do is select that. All right, so it'll come here, welcome, blah blah blah, right? So you'll say okay here, but check this out. Here's a very important step. Do not skip this. If you just press OK right here, it'll take you through an entire tutorial where you basically have to follow the screen and the menu and what it's trying to tell you. And it can become very frustrating, and you'll think, what the heck is going on? You'll be trying to do something else, and you can spend a lot of time getting lost there. So what you want to do is on this screen here, make sure you say skip tutorial. I mean, unless you want to do the tutorial, if you have the patience for all that, but otherwise just say skip tutorial. All right, so then this is where we start. Now to start, one of the previous menu screens that we saw earlier that I just blew right by, it was basically telling you that everything starts with the set. You have to select the set, or you can create a new set. So you see this blue where I'm scrolling through all the different sets right here. On this screen, I can select a predefined set. And if you notice, these are all the sets that the game has come with the plays that we previously selected, right, earlier in the episode. Or you can create a new set, right? So let me just walk you through how to create a new set and how to save it. So, and this can be whatever. Now I'm changing positions by using L1, R1, all right? So let me see, I can put my, and this is just, the set just means this is where the player, this is the player starting position when the play, you know, at the beginning of each play that's out of this set. So I'm gonna have a set like this, right? And then I'll press triangle to save it. And I'm just gonna save this OMG. This will be called the OMG set. All right, so now we're on step one. And remember when I was showing you earlier in the episode how I select plays based on how many steps there are, how few steps there are. Also, mind you, there's a delay countdown button here, so you can, like, if I wanted to make there be a pause before the play started, I can have a runoff, but I don't do that. So let's get started. All right, so I can start with the guy who has the ball, which is the point guard, or I can start with any of the other players. Now, mind you, what I'm doing now from this here, when I'm at this point, after I've already, you know, gotten to my set and I saved it, you know, previously when I was putting my set together, you know, like I said, I was changing positions with L1, R1. But at this point, now that my set is already saved and put together, I'm changing positions by using the up and down arrow as indicated right here, where it says select player with the up arrow and the down arrow, and press X to bring up options. All right, so let's say for this play, what I want to do to start, I want, let's say I want this guy right here. I don't know, to set some kind of a screen. Let's say run off screen, and choose a screener, choose the first screener. Wait, no, okay, my bad, not that. Let me go to him. I want him to do the run off screen. Oh no, hold on. I just really wanted one screener, I don't want two. But let's see, I can have him move to this spot. Wait, let's say him move right there. That's step 1. Now step 2 can be this power forward can move over here, I guess. I don't know. Wait, hold on. Oh no, that's not okay. Now see what I'm about to do. If I'm changing steps now by doing L1 R1. So if I go back to this step, no, I'm gonna go to this step. I want to say. I want to delete. Let's start over. Oh, that's how you do it. Okay, my bad. All right, let's say run off screen. The first screener is going to be the power forward. Set screen at point. Choose second screener, none. Okay, I'm gonna set screen. Like that. And then it says modify the curve. Okay, with the L. Oops, not that L. So we'll say you can just go like that. And you see, I'm looking at this right here in the hint. So it says modify the curve. Oops, done that. It'll be maybe something like this. Okay, so then when he ends here, oops, nope, I want to go from here. I want to pass to him. Alright, so now it's up to 3. And then from here I can have this guy. Oh, I can have this guy move off screen from a center at the point, no second. So it could be here. Like that. He can go down here. Like that. And then, mind you, I'm pressing up and down. We could do a pass to the point guard. Oops. And that'll be the play, right? So we'll just say run the play. Alright, so you have to pass to him. Boom, y'all, boom, there go our play. Oops, my bad. Passed it to the wrong guy. And if you notice, he's not cutting right. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. That's not the play. Okay, that one worked. That one not so much. Ah, you passed it to the wrong guy. Is that a circle or a square? Circle. Oops. Oh, shit. Oh my God. See, this is why I don't press, this is why I don't, you see why I don't press buttons now, y'all? Now y'all can see. So the play is something like that, all right? It's just, I just need that point guard right there to run. Man, run on the other side of him. Hold on, let me see if I can change it. Hold on. Hold up, hold up, hold on, press, hold up. I don't know what they mean by change defense. Nope, no, no, no. I don't want to bring a defense out there. Back, okay, that's what I want to do. What I want to do, I think I want to edit this step right here. Maybe if I make it like that more, because he was running on the, like the inside of him. I wanted them to run outside this way. So maybe that's it. Oh, we got it. Oh, damn. I didn't get the pass, y'all. I didn't get the pass, but we got the movement right. So circle. X, baby. Boom, you see that? Circle. Boom. So that's the play. Yeah, that's the play right there, baby. You know, it ain't nothing too fancy, you know what I'm saying? But it'll do. It'll get the job done. All right, enough of that. So y'all get the basic concept of what it is. The biggest thing, like I said, is make sure you say skip tutorial. You know what I'm saying? You either select the set or you create your own set, you save it, and then you just go through each of the steps. You select the players that you want to move with the up and down arrow after you know made your set, and then you move through the steps like I'm doing right now. I'm moving through the steps with the L1 R1 button, right? And then if I want to edit any of the steps, I just go to it, I press X, and it tells you right here add or edit, you know. If I want to back out of that, press circle. If I want a new step, let's say I get here and I want a new step, I could press X to wait. Oh yeah, at this point I need to select who I want to do. So if I want a new step, I first select the player I want to make the action with, and then I'll press X to add the new step, you know what I'm saying? And then if you want to run the play, it's square, but there's no way to just run it where it's just the computer. You have to participate. Wait, I think, yep. Yeah, you have to participate. I wish there was a way. That would be dope. Good. Sorry about that slight glitch. But yeah, I was just saying, with me being the CPU versus CPU guy, you know, I like to run, I like to run things that way. But yeah. There's no way to have the CPU just run it. You have to participate. And there's also, like I said, no way to then save a play and use it in your CPU versus CPU dynasty. But then let's say we wanted to save this play, I think. Oh, triangle, enter the name. This would be something like point guard. Can we do space? point guard. Screen post. I don't know. I'm just making up stuff. Okay, boom. Point guard, screen post. So I just made a play under my own set. My set is OMG. My play is point guard, screen post down there. You see it? Boom, right there. I can edit the play, rename it, delete it. If I want to edit, it'll bring it up, the steps. Right? So that's how you do it. That's how you create a play, y'all. And that's how you save it too. So you know who it is.
For the old man.
Until the next time, drop me a comment down below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you think about this tutorial. Feel like I probably stretched it out a bit much at the end, but make sure I showed you everything from how to set up your own playbooks, set up your tendencies for your players, and how to create plays in the play designer. Until the next time, y'all, signing out. Peace.